Undirected team. How's it going, y'all? Y'all are the best audience on the internet. It's not even close. You know we gotta talk about this. You seen the thumbnail. You seen the thumbnail and the title of the video. It's gonna be a long one because we're gonna break everything down about this from so many different aspects. And you know what? Let's watch what we're gonna be talking about right now, and then we'll talk a little bit more about our syllabus of what we're gonna cover throughout this video. And this is gonna be the play here. There's no sound on here because they don't like when you use their video actually and their sound, or both. This still might get blocked, but I'm doing it for the culture, for the love of the game. If I don't make any money off of this, it's fine. This is the play at hand, though. This is the big play right here. So we're going to run it back, and we're going to actually break this play down step by step. So you're going to see it right here. And we're going to talk about this, team. We are going to talk about this play extensively because that is the focus of this video. Now, as you can see, I do have my ref shirt on. So just to help everybody understand a little bit of background about me is I am a basketball official, along with many other sports. But we won't get into that right now. Just know I do a lot of other sports as well. But basketball is my main sport. That's why I got to the highest level at officiating, and where I want to get to the highest level at officiating. I officiate at the college level, at the collegiate level, at the D3 level. The NBA just opened their season tonight. I actually got the game playing in the background right now. The Knicks and the Celtics are playing. Looking forward to the Lakers and Timberwolves game later on tonight. For me, my basketball season begins on November 1st with junior college. The Friday of November 8th, my Division III season starts when I get an opportunity to have a season opener for a Division III school. So I don't come in here ignorant of what officials go through when they're out there on the floor. Now, I haven't made it to the professional level, and as you can see here, these officials are at the highest level of women's basketball. Next, you have the men's, which is the Wnba, and then under that, but I wouldn't exactly call it under. Exactly, but then you have, NCAA Division I, then Division II, Division III, where I'm at, and I aspire to get to the highest level. But what we need to do is break this down from all perspectives. I'm also a player. I play. I actually have a game tonight. In 2 hours, I'll be tipping off in my league basketball. I play 5 nights a week, team, as well as officiate throughout the week. See right here, got my uniform. I created these, Lightning. You see the .sale right here. That's what I put on my jersey. Could have done my last name, but it's men's league. I do play at the highest level within the men's league on a few of my teams, the gold level. I've won championships, many of them, including about 4 over the past 2 seasons on different days. So I understand this from a player's perspective, from a referee's perspective, and I have even coached basketball for my children, but only at a parks and recreation level. But I communicate with coaches all the time, and I understand what the coaches go through as well. So, a lot of times you get a casual fan or you get a person that is just one-dimensional. But with me, you get all 3 dimensions. I'm also a fan of basketball. Like I said, I'll be watching the Lakers game tonight. and just enjoying it from a fan's aspect, although I will be watching the officials because anytime that I do anything, I try to learn from it. I don't just usually use things for entertainment specifically. All right, so we've got through that. Now, I have all these things queued up because we're going to break this down in every single way possible. So what I want to do is go to some audio from Cheryl Reeves after the game, and we're going to hear what she has to say, and we're going to go from there. And we're going to cue her up at 30 seconds.
Coach, maybe you could speak to that too, just about what you saw with the offense over the last half of that game as New York tried to pressure.
I saw a very physical and aggressive New York team. We know this from, being a part of the game for so long that, sometimes you get away with stuff when you're physical and aggressive, and they certainly did. It's a shame that officiating, had such a hand in a series like this. Obviously, there's always going to be a team that's going to be a little more disappointed than the other. I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which it's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because that decided the game.
Next question, standing to your right.
Sure.
All right. So we just heard from the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx. I was about to say Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Lynx. And that's where I'm at, actually. I reside in Minnesota. So I'm not coming at this from a biased standpoint, because I'm a fan of the game first. I'm not necessarily a fan of teams. I do have players that I enjoy more than others, but I'm not a fan. Like, you're never going to see me wearing team gear. I really like LeBron James as far as a player. I like Steph Curry as far as a player. You're not going to see me walking around in a Steph Curry jersey. It's just not going to happen. I don't wear other people's jerseys. I'm not a fan in that type of way, but I do respect the game and the process, and that's where I come from. But I'm not a fanatic fan like that of anybody. If anything, I feel like I can go out there and put the same work in as them. Not that I'm as good or not as good. That's really not my point. It's just that I go out there and compete at a high level at all times. And a lot of times, the one thing that separates us is just opportunity. And that's just the difference, right? When you look at officiating, the barrier to entry in officiating is not anything. I mean, anybody can go out and buy this shirt. You can get this off Amazon, or you can go to your sports store and buy one of these shirts. You can go buy a whistle for $8, and you can go out there and officiate basketball. I started at the lowest level of basketball. Well, I don't want to call it the lowest level as far as the players. They're just younger players, but 11-year-old basketball, Parks and Rec, right? Where every time that they make a basketball move, they're traveling or dribbling or doing some type of infraction. All the way up to guys that I've officiated that have moved on and went to the NBA, right? Jalen Suggs is from Minnesota. Chet Holmgren is from Minnesota. I was officiating at the time that they were playing. So, I want to really communicate this and talk about what Cheryl Reeves just said, right? Now, I went to this picture right here. Now, this is in Game 5. This is a play that happened in Game 5 where you can see that a Minnesota Lynx player takes contact directly to the face, and this was not called a foul on the floor. All right, as far as I know. I didn't get a chance to see the game because actually, while they were actually playing the NBA Finals, I was officiating, so I had to watch the highlights and the clips. And that's why I'm not going super hard on the officials just yet. Because what Cheryl Reeves said, and to go back to it, is that they should have a third party that helps with a final decision. The problem with that is that those that are a third party are not on the floor at that time. So if you're talking about somebody that's watching it on television that is in Secaucus, New Jersey, or in a review room, that's different. I guess maybe if you have a fourth official on the floor, which usually in games like this, there should be an alternate official. So there's actually 4 officials. You see the 3 on the floor, but there's an alternate official just in case something strange happens to one of the officials on the floor, which is very unlikely but possible. And that official will come in replace of the injured official. So there's always 4 officials, especially on these, championship games. Usually they're called alternates. And maybe get an input from that official. But the thing about it is you can't feel and understand the energy of the game when you're not actually on the floor officiating it. So that has something to do with it. And I don't think a lot of people can understand that unless they've actually been through it. Now, sometimes you can just say, I don't care. If I'm looking at the film, I understand exactly what's going on, and I don't need to be on the floor to make change or alter that call. That's fair. On this play that we're actually talking about, which we'll go back to it again, they went to review this play. You see our calling official right here. Number 9 is our calling official. He's not the crew chief. The Lynx challenged this play. They went to the monitor and still said that this is illegal contact on, what do we got, a number here? Is it 8 white? Yeah, illegal contact on 8 white. And subsequently upheld their call and gave Breonna Stewart merited free throws based off of the illegal contact that referee number 9, Tim Green, said that he's seen. We actually have different angles of this contact, and I actually want to go to that. I got it on TikTok. Hopefully it's still up. Is it out? No, I thought I had it up. No, this is something else. Hold on. Okay, we got it right here.
That's not a foul.
And I don't want his commentary, though. I just want to see when they went to review it. So we're going to turn that off.
Yeah, foul's good.
And ignore what he's saying on the screen as far as WNBA caught rigging. I'm not going to accuse the officials of rigging a game. I'm not going to come at the integrity of the way that they're officiating, because to be honest, we all make mistakes. I've made some calls that I would like to change after the fact. The one thing I'll say about these officials is you see what he's doing right now. They have the benefit of the monitor and the replay system. I've actually seen that officiating gets easier as you go up. And I don't mean it from a standpoint to say that the level of the play is easier to officiate, but I mean that I will say that the how do I want to explain this? The game is a lot more controlled. The environment is a lot better. There's a lot more structure to the game, right? Just imagine going into a recreation center and you got kids, their uniforms aren't correct. You got a table. So the table crew, they're the ones that keep the score and run the clock. And they're not getting paid for the job. They're volunteers. They don't understand the rules. A lot of times we come in as the officials and we're the only ones that understand everything. And there's only 2 of us out there, not 3. And we don't have experts at the table and monitors to look at. We have to make every call correct at the time it happens and live with it. The only replay system we have is our partner that's on the floor. That's it. And oftentimes it's only one other person when you're talking about games like that. You're not getting 3 officials. You only get 3 officials when you get to high school varsity and up. So JV, 2 officials, 9th grade, 2 officials, anything below that, 2 officials. The stakes are much less at those levels. There's not money involved, different things like that. But you'd be surprised at how involved the parents and the stakeholders are during those games and the type of issues that they'll give you. And there's really no barrier between you and the parents. And that's why a lot of officials quit. If you ask, and there was a study done on this, or a survey, I should say, where they asked, what is the main reason, they asked officials, why officials quit sports? It was verbal abuse. Verbal abuse by the coaches, but mostly by the fans and the parents. And then sometimes it'll spill online. Like, these NBA officials, WNBA officials and NBA officials, but specifically the WNBA officials are getting destroyed online right now. I mean, as you can see, this guy right here, and we'll actually let him play. We'll actually give him some audio. I mean, he immediately goes on TikTok and rips them and says that they were rigging the game. Listen to him.
That's not a foul. They rigging the WNBA finals game.
This is the
That's not a
people.
foul at all. She didn't even touch her at all. That's crazy, bro. Bro, they call this a foul. If they keep this as a foul, this game is rigged. It's not even like a debate. Not a conspiracy. It's literally rigged. That wasn't even close. This is a foul, guys. No, she didn't. Where? What are y'all looking at? She didn't even look.
It seemed like the
This
announcers.
announcer just lied. Both of them. They just
That's
straight
what I'm saying. It
lied.
seemed like the
He didn't
announcers
hit
are
her
kind of
left-
in
She
on
didn't hit
it.
her left wrist. What are you talking? Bro, what are you?
So we're gonna look at this play. As far as I can tell, there's 0 contact on the wrist, but we're only getting the angle that the NBA and ESPN is provided. And I'm just surprised. All those cameras in the arena, we can't get a view that sees in between the players. So in basketball, well, in officiating the basketball, there's something that we need to do as officials, and that is see between players. So the angle that you see right now as you're looking at this film, you're straight lined. You can't see what's going on between Breonna Stewart and 8 Smith. Now, if you're standing in between those 2 players, you can see if contact is made, and that's where the official should be if he's to get this contact correct and make the correct call. And based off where he should be standing, he should be able to see directly between these 2 players. Another issue that we have to look at, and like I said, I'm getting very intricate and detailed in this, is whose call is this? But first, I want to look at a different angle real quick. So I couldn't find a lot of angles, but I did find this one. And here's the players actually coming out and saying that this is basically corrupt by the officials. But I want to look at it from this angle. So we got it right here. And let's see if we can see any contact on number 8 from this angle, because this is a much better angle. So I'm going to say right now that she is legal. When you're looking at it, and we'll look at it from the other way. Can I stop? Okay, I can stop it here. So you can look at, now, I haven't even talked about the travel before. We're going to break it down and get to that as well, because that part is insane. But for now, we're just going to talk about the illegal contact. Now, as you can see right here, this is a bang-bang play. Right here, number 8 white is in a legal guarding position. What is a legal guarding position? 2 feet on the floor, facing your opponent within 6 feet. Both feet on the floor establishes legal guarding position. Now, at this point, the defender can do 3 things to maintain legal guarding position. Those 3 things are move laterally, obliquely, which is kind of at an angle, kind of like a semicircle backwards, and backwards. The one thing the defender can't do, which will take away their established legal guarding position, is to move forward into the player. Now we're going to see if this defender did any of those 4 things and see what we got. I'm going to stop it here. She's completely legal in this. Now, the only way she can become not legal is if she was to push in to the offensive player, or she can come down with her arm and create contact. Now, the one thing about when you come down with your arms and create contact is if the offensive player comes into you and your arms come down in a natural way because of the contact created by the offensive player coming into you, that is not a foul. You would have to do it on purpose. She'd have to come here, not, and the arms come down a little bit, right? Just to explain. So let's see what we got. Now, you can look and see the arm did come down. However, she never came into the player. So this is a natural motion of your arms coming down. She didn't swing her arm down at all. She attempted to get a hand on the ball and subsequently missed Breonna Stewart's left wrist, as far as I can tell, in this situation. Now, the referee is across court in a center position. Okay, center position. Now, I want to look at the official down at the bottom of the screen, okay? Actually, y'all can't really see it. Let me pull this down a little bit just so we can get that visual. Oh, I'm not trying to do that. Do you see that official down there at the bottom? Right there. Now, she's got a good look at this play. Now, she is ground level, so you do have a player that's somewhat in between them that could impede her view. But absolutely, if she takes 2 steps to the left or even 1 good step to the left, she can see in between those 2 players and see if there's any contact. She chose not to blow her whistle and call a foul here. I was just on a call with NBA officials. One NBA official right now that is actually going to be doing the Lakers versus the Timberwolves game tonight. He'll be on that game tonight. And one of his things that he said, among many things, was that you do not want to call fouls across the rim. So on the other side of the rim. Now, this play, for all purposes, is somewhat parallel to the middle of the rim, but initiated on the opposite side of the rim. So in this situation, you're going to want your trail or your lead to have first dibs at this call. Now, the center can come in, but usually you don't want to blow on the other side of the rim. This is from an NBA official, and this is what he told us as his pupils. So that's what I'm explaining this from. I just learned this today. We're always constantly learning as officials. It never stops. And number 9, Tim Green will learn from this situation, I would assume. Now, the lead official has no call on this, right? We're going to play it. This is on the opposite side of the rim. I'm not seeing any contact on the wrist or the arm. That merits a foul. The problem with this is that at the higher levels of basketball, you have the benefit of replay, especially in the last 2 minutes of the game or in certain situations. So you have an opportunity to correct your wrongs. This crew chose not to do that. We're going to look at a picture real quick. I think I got the picture right here. I'm kind of jumping around, team, but let's see if we got it. Is this it? This is it. This is one of them. So there's something that's called a skyline in New York. And this woman right here is the commissioner. As you can see, they label her right here as the commissioner. See it right here, the Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Just heard of her the other day. She's the commissioner of the league. She chose to wear a dress that represents this place right here. The skyline of New York City, right?
Stop.
Yo, Kathy.
Oh my God, I fucking hate myself right now.
Kathy.
Stop.
Kathy. It's looking a little biased. You wearing that there dress, which I think we got another. Yo, we got it right here. You wearing a dress that represents the team that was favored to not only win the game in Vegas, and actually, so wearing this dress is crazy, right? It's no different if she wore a Mall of America on her dress, right? Like, and then the Lynx got the same benefit of the doubt call. And that's not even a benefit of the doubt call, in my opinion. I want to look at this, though. So our referee right here is Tim Green. And we're going to show you Tim Green right here. He's the one that made the call. This guy, Tim Green, right here. Looks like a great guy. Looks like a great guy. You know, there's just so many different routes to take with this team. I do wonder if we'll ever get to the point where the officials will have to explain their calls, right? Because we highlight the officials are really protected. And I kind of like that as an official. I do like it. There's really no... us as officials, we do get cooked. Like, trust me, if we make a bad play, we're going to catch hell. The issue is we're not going to be able to catch hell from the players and the coaches. I mean, on the floor sometimes, but we can kick them out of the game fairly easily if we want to. If a coach goes ballistic on me, like, Technical foul. Coach, you're out of here. If a player makes contact with me as an official, he pushes me, shoves me, punches me, could be kicked out of the league indefinitely. For the rest of the year, suspended. There's going to be harsh consequences for demeaning or assaulting an official or even just speaking out about them. In the NBA and the WNBA, you'll get fined. You talk about the officials. Oftentimes, this is a severe cash penalty involved. And it's the same way with basketball. Now, where we're not protected is at any level probably below like varsity high school. So if you're doing like weekend AAU stuff and you got the parents sitting right on top of you and they done paid $8 to get into the gym, there's really nobody to protect you there. The NBA games, you're not getting anywhere near an official. Even the college games, most likely not. But yeah, at the lower levels, I mean, there's been plenty of officials that got assaulted, even at like the adult levels and stuff like that. I want to go here to Tim. And you see right here what we're looking at. We got him right here. I just had him. Does it go last name first? Oh, no, we got it right here. Oh, I just had him up. Oh, right here. Even Vegas has these officials and how the games play out based off the officials that are on the court. And I'm sure we all have this. If I was doing this, they'd have a stat on me. If I ever get to the professional level, I'd be right here on this list too. They'd have me on here, government name and all. And they would show what the likelihood and how it is that I call games. This would actually be probably interesting for NBA officials to look at. I don't even know if they know this is out on them. Probably. I mean, the players know. I mean, LeBron James knows there's going to be an over and under on how many points he's going to score tonight. And he probably possibly looks at that. Damn, they're saying I'm only going to score 19 points tonight. I feel like I mean, there's so many things that we can affect. And when the money gets involved, it's a little bit different, right? You want to look at this right here. I think I got it up. Where did I put it? I got so many tabs open. What's that guy's name? I had it open. Let me see. I don't remember where it's at. I was trying to show y'all the NBA official that ended up getting in trouble because he was betting on games. Let's just do it real quick right here. NBA official. Betting. On games. I forgot his name already. Yeah, Donahue? No. What's his name? Scandal. Tim Donna. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Anyways, it was this guy. Disgraced ref Tim. I don't know how to say his last name. It was this guy right here. Standing with. He was influencing games based off his bets. Team, it happens. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I would never do that. Absolutely not. These are my peers, right? I could very well run into Tim Green at some point in my career and have to be face to face with him. Everything I'm saying now, I stand on it. I'm in no way accusing, but these are things that actually happen, right? I could be accused of something like this. I would never, ever, under any circumstance, put anything above myself when it comes to the integrity of the game. So betting on games that I'm involved with is insane. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's illegal, I'm pretty sure, on top of all of that. But just morally, I would never do it, right? But this guy actually can affect the outcome of a game. As we've seen here, with number 9, Tim Green. And his partners. Because the other part about it is he's not the crew chief on this game. So the one that makes the ultimate decision is this guy over here that handed in the ball. Now, if you want to say something, you could say they were all in it together. If you wanted to go that route. I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there, not accusatory. I want to look at something else on this play that takes a lot of pressure off of number 9, Tim, and actually puts a fair amount of pressure on, he's in the thumbnail. Let me get his name real quick. I got it right here. I do this all live, team, as you know. You know it's going to be a long video. I actually do a lot of long-form content. So this is nothing new. Roy Gobian and Maj Forsberg. I am so bad at pronouncing people's names, team. If it's just like a person's name and I've never seen the word, I can't pronounce it. I can't. I need to get phonics, don't I? Remember Hooked on Phonics? Help you sound out words and all that. Let's see. Anyway, so we'll just call him Roy and we'll call the other one Maj and we'll call him Tim. So when Roy passes the ball in right here, I want us to look at this play because this is something that, let's just say, whatever. Let's give him the foul call, which I believe was not a foul call and shouldn't even have been called in real time. But let's look at what happened before that. And this is the travel, which is black and white. I'm not going to explain travels in extreme detail, how it is in the book. Although I could if you really wanted me to. There's more than one way to define a travel, right? When you're talking about when both feet are on the playing court and the player lands simultaneously on both feet, either foot may become the pivot. On one foot allowed by the other, the first foot to touch shall be the pivot foot. On one foot, the player may jump off that foot and simultaneously land on both feet, in which case neither can become the pivot foot. So there's a lot of different interpretations, but I'll explain this to you simple, team, so you can understand it without going into all the nuances. If the pivot foot returns to the floor before the player releases the ball for a try, which would be a shot, a pass, or a dribble, that is a foul. Or not foul. That is a travel. That's the easiest way for you to understand it. The pivot foot, that's established, cannot return to the floor before the player releases the ball from their hands. That's basically the way that you can look at it without talking about, you know, different types of drop steps and power moves and all that stuff. So we're going to look at this play here, right? And we're going to understand that Breonna Stewart traveled on this play. And it's completely obvious. And it should have been called. The other play is a judgment play. Let's be honest. The foul is a judgment play. I think it was bad judgment. But nonetheless, it's judgment. Travels are black and white. For the most part, unless you're talking about, I don't know if the player gathered the ball and had full control of the ball. In this situation, Stewart had full control of the ball, and that's obvious. So it never should have got to the travel to the foul call because it should have been a travel, and the travel should have been picked up by the same person that made the very questionable foul call. Also, the trail probably should have got that action, the travel call. And the lead, which is the one down here behind the basket on the end line, could have also picked up that travel. All three of them could have got this travel. A travel doesn't necessarily have to be in your primary. Because a lot of times, if you see number 6 down here, or these two players that's near the basket, let's say one of them are going up for a shot. You would think that the person to get the travel would be the one under the basket closest to him, but oftentimes that's not the case. The person that is farthest away from the action can actually get that travel. But here, this is unacceptable to be missed by all three officials. But it does go in order of who should have got the travel call to begin with. I would go with trail first, then I would go with center, and then I would go with, then I would go with lead last. So basically the person that's handling the ball, that's handing the ball in, I think should have got the travel first. Then the person across court, the center that made the questionable foul call, should have got it second, and then only third should the lead have got this travel. Let's watch it. Now you're gonna see Stewart come off this this screen action right here. Now the defender actually picked her up really well, and this threw Stewart off because the play was drew up for Stewart to get free and get easy access to the pass. But as you can see, this defender jumped, left her person, and picked up Stewart. Now Stewart's a little confused on what's going on. So right here, the ball actually gets passed through the defender damn near. Had White 21 just put a hand up, she probably could have deflected the ball. She had her back turned to it. So right here is where we're going to talk about this travel. Now I'm going to zoom in because this is the worst part about all of this to me. Now, this is a clear travel, team. This is not even debatable. This is something that you have to get, in my opinion, especially in this situation, coming out of a timeout. You got to get this. I'm going to slow this down because I really want to look at how obvious of a travel this is. So we're going to go right to this area right here. This is out of an inbound play. So there's not even a lot going on for this to be missed. It's not like it's in transition or a lot is going on. And I want to see if the coaching staff even knew it was a travel. Because usually if it's a travel, the coaching staff will do this. Let's see if they even seen it. I don't know how everybody's not talking about this. Yeah, the coaching staff didn't even see the travel, which is crazy. Nobody was looking at her feet. Look at where Cheryl Reeves is looking right now. Cheryl Reeves never ever looked at her feet, and she shouldn't be because that's not her job. But let's just break down this travel real quick. So right here, we're gonna stop it here. Okay. She has control of the ball. She's got both the ball in both hands firmly secured. Okay. I'm calling this control right here. When you have control of the ball, we're going to look and see what foot is touching the playing court. If both feet are on the playing court, then either foot can be the pivot. But we're going to make this simple and say that the right foot is on the playing court when she has possession of the ball, which is going to make her right foot the pivot foot. Now, as I explained to you, it only becomes a travel when she has not released the ball from her grasp under any circumstance, and that foot, the right foot, returns to the floor before she does so. That's what elicits a travel in this situation. So she's got control, right? Now, you know what? It's so close that technically the right foot should be the pivot foot. I'm going to even just say, you know what? She doesn't have a pivot foot right now. All right. She has control of the ball. Both feet are on the floor. We're going to say neither foot is the pivot foot. So we're going to establish a pivot foot now. All right, team? Jumps off of both. All right. Now we have a clear pivot foot. We're going to make the pivot foot the left foot. We know she has control of the ball. She controlled the ball here. Full control of the ball. The left foot, the one with her leg sleeve on, is on the floor. So all she needs to do to avoid a travel is to make sure that by the time she releases the ball, that left foot doesn't leave the floor and return to the floor. Okay? Let's see if she does that. We're watching the left foot. Okay? Left foot leaves the floor. She still has control of the ball. Left foot returns to the floor. That, by rule, is a traveling violation. There's no way around it. This is black and white. There's no gray area here. This is not a block charge call. This is not possible contact on the wrist. This is none of that. This is a travel by rule under every circumstance. And it's one that has to be caught. And you could also say that she traveled twice, or I don't know if you can travel twice, but we can also say that the right foot was the pivot foot, which means that she traveled far before that, or long before that. So this is where I have the most issue with this play, is missing the travel. But then let's look at the foul. We're going to zoom this in a little bit. We'll come down to the foul. So we moved on from the travel. Whatever, you missed the travel, fine, I get it. Let's look at the defender right now. So when you're officiating, you're watching the defense, all right, team? You're defending, you're officiating the defense. You're watching the offensive player too, but you're not necessarily focused on the offensive player. You're focused on what the defensive player does. Okay? So it's actually just learn this too. I might get one of them wrong. NBA official just told us this. Primary, defender. How was the other one? I know it. I got it. I'm just blanking out right now because I'm doing this live and I'm trying to remember all this stuff. Anyways, watch your primary area first and then watch the defender. And that's what I'm going to talk about Tim real quick. Tim's area, and I guess he can roam a little bit. And if you look where his head is pointed at right now, we're looking at number 9 right here, the closest one to us, official number 9. Let's watch what he's looking at. Right here, that player is legal. We want to look where she established legal guard in position. And the problem with the travel, just lastly on that, is that when you allow a player to travel, you allow a player to gain an unfair advantage. And that's why traveling needs to be called, because it can affect the game. Breonna Stewart, if she dribbled the ball correctly like she should have, might not have gotten to an advantageous position to be able to draw the foul, in quotes, on 8 Smith. So right here, one foot on the floor, other foot on the floor. She's legal at this point. She's a legal defender. 2 foot on the floor, facing your opponent. Breonna Stewart has not gone into her habitual shooting motion, and she still has both of her feet on the floor. So this is legal guarding position. She's straight up, arms back, chest up. This is excellent defense. And that's why we're told to watch the defender and not the offensive player, because the offensive player can fake being fouled. They can throw their head back. They can scream, yell, flail their arms, accentuate contact. That's why we're told to watch the defender. Now, my issue with his positioning on this is that he can't see the defender because there's somebody directly in his line of sight. If you look at the other Lynx player, which I can't see her number, she's almost directly in front of number 9's sight. He might be a little bit in front of her, or to the left of her, I should say. But even if he's in front of her, she's still in a direct path of the defender that he called the foul on. So he has no clear look at this player to understand if it is a foul or not. Not to mention, it goes back to what we said. This is on the other side of the rim. It's not his call. Only time you get calls like this, and what we were just told earlier, is if it is obvious contact, somebody's bleeding, there's teeth on the floor, you've seen a crazy elbow, something non-basketball happened, then you can come get this. A play like this, you should absolutely not come get this play in the position that you're in as the center. That's what I'm saying. Now, experts might come and tell me that I'm wrong, and I'm open to criticism to hear that. I am by no means the best official on the planet, but the issue is that when you look at officiating, technically nobody is. Why is that? Because when we review film and plays, we always review film and plays of officials that are at the highest level anyways. So when we review film, we're reviewing film of NCAA championship games, NCAA tournament games, and we're saying this official made a mistake here. Not to destroy the official or down them, but just to help with the learning experience. So officials are going to make mistakes. That's why they brought the replay system in, so they could alleviate the mistakes that the officials would make on the floor, and then they could fix them post that action happening and get it right. Because sometimes things are so close that we can't see it. So right here, I don't think he's in a good position to make this call, but at this point right now, this player is legal. We're going to zoom in a little bit. I want to keep him in frame, actually. We can't see the trail on this play. And the trail actually can't see this contact anyways. So we're going to take the trail out of this unless the trail is on the floor. Like basically at the top of the key, he can't see this action. You got 24 in the way. And then also you got players here up at the top where it says TV right there that are in the trail's view. The only person that can really get this contact, and actually who could have got the contact, is the trail. I guess the C could get it in a way, but he's straight line too. So this is a tough one. But the secondary player coming up came out of the lead's responsibility. So it should be the lead that probably gets this. That's what I'm assuming. I'm open to correction. So right here, this is almost nearly perfect defense, if I want to say that. This is what players are taught. This is what you do not want to punish as an official. This is unfair to punish this action by the defender, especially in a championship game. He's got to let this go. I mean, there's nothing even to let go. It's just nothing here. Breonna Stewart creates all the contact. The player never moves into Breonna Stewart, only moves backwards, laterally or obliquely. You see her moving backwards. Breonna Stewart's coming into her. Let's just look at the point of contact, all right? So right here, point of contact. Do you see this player move into her at all? Look at where her feet are. Look at White's feet. White's feet go backwards only, never forwards. She just lodges her. That's not enough to call a contact foul or a blocking foul. I think his reasoning was contact on the wrist. But that's marginal at best. If there is any, I don't even think there's contact on the wrist at all. The other view that we've seen showed no contact on the wrist. But remember, the view that we're looking at right now are looking at it from Nine's perspective. From his perspective, calling out of that position, it might look like there was contact on the right wrist. However, where Cheryl Reeves is standing, if he was there, which we seen from the other angle, there was zero contact. And he comes in with the foul late, which is fine. You don't have to get the foul immediately. But he almost waited to see if the basketball was going to go into the hoop. I'm just saying. I know at lower levels you can do that because sometimes at lower levels it's a running clock. And this might be where he got this philosophy from of waiting on that contact. Not saying you're actually supposed to wait. There's a process that you'll be taught. It's start, process, finish. So you let the play out before you make your determination. You be a half second late on your whistle. So that's actually fine and it's all good, all right? Him coming in a little late with that call, there's no problem with it. It's actually preferred in many cases. So we're not going at him for that. Yeah, that's nothing, team. I'm sorry, I can't understand that one. And I'm more disappointed that the replay didn't prove that it wasn't a foul, because we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But then when they come in with replay and back up that call, that's insane. So let's look at it one more time from this angle. I'm going to turn that volume down. We're looking at the right arm of number 8 and seeing if it makes contact on the wrist, because this is a whole different angle. There's no contact on the wrist there at all. There's none. There's none, team. I'm going to stop this really quick. No contact. Right there, that's no contact. Not on the elbow or the wrist. And keep in mind, she's bringing her elbow into her. Breonna Stewart's creating all this contact. That's why you officiate the defense. She's not touching her right here. I don't want to leave the page. You can see the white space between their arms. No contact. Look. Nothing there. It's just a bad play by Stewart. I mean, honestly, she got totally surprised by the defense, traveled initially, and then ran into a legal defender and put up a shot that just wasn't good. And here we are now with the official coming to bail her out. He comes in from over there, as you can see. He makes the call. Breonna Stewart subsequently goes, makes 2 free throws. I don't care about anything else as far as why the why the Lynx lost. I'm not going to get into this, but there was actually a email thread with some of my official buddies where they actually explained. Actually, you know what? I will talk about it real quick. because they spoke about everything other than what the issue was. And I don't like it because I really don't care what happened up to a point. I don't care if the Lynx were up by 50 and then they blew a 50-point lead, because you saying that is no different than saying, well, the Liberty gave up a 50-point lead. So if the Lynx blow a 50-point lead, or the Lynx give up, or if the Lynx blow a 50-point lead, or the Liberty give up a 50-point lead, there's no difference there. That's why the game is played for the minutes that it's played. And when it comes down to the last minute, if it ends up being a tie game, well, everything's important at that moment. Nothing else matters before it. Whatever happened before it is only the reason that we got to this point to begin with. So I don't care if Finesse School went 1 for 19 or the Lynx had 17 turnovers. None of that matters. What actually decided the game is this play in many instances at this moment, because it's all about moments. It's not about everything as a whole. It's about the moments, in my opinion. So in this email, they began to speak about it. And I'm going to say what they said. They needed concrete information that this wasn't a foul, and they couldn't find it in the video. This person goes on to say, Cheryl Reeves' team got outplayed. Her best shooters got defended and had scoring problems. I think that's cheap for Cheryl to say the referees cost her the game. While she's worried about an official's call, the Liberty shut down her offense and she had no counter to that. The Lynx shut down the Liberty's offense too. The issue wasn't the officials to me. Tries to take all accountability off the officials. Now, this is an official speaking, right? You won't say our offense didn't score enough points to win when we had the opportunity. You got the ball and was unable to score several times late in the game, and the score was tied. The officials didn't miss that open three-point shot or miss an open layup, so why put it all on them? Where do I see the officials at fault? The Liberty shot 25 free throws to the Lynx only 8 free throws. That disparity didn't need to happen. They were both playing physical and aggressive defense. If the free throw count was relatively even, nobody can complain. Leaving that door opens you up to criticisms. Well, if the free throws were the same, then the Lynx would have won by 10 to 15 points and it would have been a close game in the beginning. So for you to actually say that the officials were not the issue here, and say that it's cheap to say that the officials cost of the game, well, I've been chewed out by coaches before, so trust me, I'm not never going soft on coaches. I think she's right in this situation. Overall. Now, I'm not going to use words like stolen and all that type of stuff, but I think she's right about this specific issue. Now, we're going to go actually to... I got it right here. I think I got it. Yeah, it's right here. We're going to go to the stat line. And we're going to look at the free throws. The free throw disparity was 25-8. And we're looking at a close game. Now, we showed this footage right here where White gets hit across the face, and this was not called. Now, if this was called, correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I know everything, it's so hard to watch the film on these games. It's like, I'm going to show y'all something real quick. This is directly from the Wnba. You see right here? This is WNBA's official account showing highlights of the game. You want to know what they didn't show? Anything that had to do with this controversial foul call or the travel subsequent to it. They skipped right to her free throws. I'm not lying. Watch it right here, team. Look, I got the sound off. Look. I'm turning the sound off on purpose, team. Now watch this. You see it right here? I'm going to show you all the progress bar to show you I'm not skipping this. You can go look yourself. It's up right now. Watch this. It's 58-58. Watch how fast they skip past all of the controversial stuff. Look. What happened to the play? They don't show the foul. They don't show the replay. They don't show the explanation of the replay. I can't even find the explanation of why they upheld the foul. Did they say why? I can't find it. I try. As you can see, I have plenty of tabs open. I got about 20 tabs open regarding this whole situation. I probably went through about 10 of them so far. I can't find it, team. This is from the WNBA's actual page. They skip right over it. You can't get it. Just all of a sudden she's shooting free throws. How did she end up getting to the free throws? They don't want to show it. And I'm pretty sure if we go to the comments, they're going to call it out. Look. Got the layup here to put them up. Links go up. They skipped a whole... Look, it went from 104... to all of a sudden 5.2 now Breonna Stewart shooting free throws. And then they play like the whole overtime though. So, I mean, that's shady. We can even go to the comments. Look, it's right here. Notice they cut straight to the gifted free throws to tie the game. Show us the travel and non-foul. It's corrupt. And it hurts the integrity of the game. And I don't want to put this all on the officials because, like, they have a hard job out there. And I know Reeves, actually, we're going to go to it right now. She says the official job isn't difficult. And I want to actually respond to that. That should be at 13. She's going to go in. Hold on, we got it right here.
Well, we talked about it, you know. We know we could have done some things, right? But you shouldn't have to overcome to that extent. This shit ain't that hard. Officiating it's not that hard. When someone is being held, be consistent. If you don't want to hold it one, then don't call it the other. Be consistent. Every team asked for that, right? Sandy asked for that last game. So 3 of the games in the series, we're talking about the same damn thing, right? So I tell these guys, you know, for whatever reason it didn't work out, right? It just doesn't feel right that you lose a series with that level of discrepancy, you know? And we don't have a team that whines and complains and, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, sometimes it probably hurts us. Maybe being a little more, I don't know, something. But I mean, I just think that, you know, you have a star player like Fee, you know, I don't get it. I don't get how she can be held and go to the basket and get hit. And then a marginal, at best, sends their best player to the free throw line. That's tough. It's tough to swallow. Just like our 2016 championship that was lost.
I'm going to go to that real quick. I'm just going to show you all the picture of what she's talking about because I got that too, if I can find it. That's not it. I had a whole bunch of stuff open. It's not that one. I got a team. Hold on. I don't know what that is. Hold on real quick. I got it right here, team. Oh, that was the one I was looking for earlier. That's not this one. Even B-ball breakdown was like, oh, this is what I'm looking for right here. Listen, this is what happened to Reeves. Reeves could possibly have 6 titles right now, but she's only got 4. This is what she's talking about. With 1:14 left in the game, which a lot could have happened over the 1:14, but this obvious shot clock violation was missed by officials. The crazy thing about it is when you look at officiating, and I'm kind of talking more from like a, kind of inside point of view. Us as officials, and I can't really say it specifically, but man, we get crucified for making some calls that we make at the lower levels. But it's kind of like, and I don't want to say they get away with it, because I'm pretty sure like the officials that were on this game that missed this got their butts kicked for it. But I don't know who the officials were, but I'm pretty sure they still work games at this level afterwards. And that's fine. I'm not calling for their jobs or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, we missed this call. High school officials, we're getting ripped. NBA has the, WNBA and the ones that have the replay, like Division I, Division II. They can go back and look at these things and they still end up blowing it. But this call was not changed or reversed or made correct on the floor by these experts. And, it's tough. There's a lot of money in this. I mean, there's people that bet on the games, as we talked about a little bit. That's not really the point of this. But there are fans, and, they've traveled far and wide to watch this game. This looks like it's in Minnesota. Yes, it's in Minnesota. You can look at the floor. Yeah, you can see all the players in the crowd. Like, they came and, watched this game, came from out of state, just to see the game get not called the way that it's supposed to, the way that the rules intended it to be. Damn. Boston is destroying New York. Sheesh. I got the game on in the background. Actually, got to get ready for my game soon. Actually, let me get in the game mode real quick. We're going to come out of officiating mode. I'm done with this. Where we at? An hour and 12. Yo, if y'all still with me right now, y'all are the best audience on YouTube. So I know I'm talking a lot right now. And if you're not still here for this, I completely understand. I absolutely do. We're going to go into... I'm getting ready. I actually tip off in an hour, and my drive is a half hour away. So I got to wrap this up in about 8 minutes, team, no matter what. So that's what Reeves is talking about. I do want to look at a couple more things, and we'll get out of here.
Officiating, missing a shot clock violation. This sucks.
Yeah, That's what he's talking about, shot clock.
Right? For both teams, let them decide it. What contact is legal should be the same for both teams. This isn't that hard. And so it's disappointing. Congratulations to the Liberty on their first championship. Been around, I don't know, how long has the league been around? 28 years? It took them 28 years. Congrats to them. We were that close to our fifth. Just didn't happen, right? It's disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing. But these guys, they got to try to pick themselves up and go, we were that damn close. And, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. So then what I don't like is this right here, because I'm actually going to play contrast from Brondello. So in game 4, she lost the game, and she was complaining about the officials. So we got it right here.
We got no calls today. So do I need to talk up in a press conference? Because they were getting ticky-tacks, and we went down there and got hit and get nothing. And it was like 12-6 at half-time, and they tried to even it up near the end. It was 14-9. All we want is fair. Okay, so if we're getting hit, that's a foul. And that time, I'm one of the nicest bloody coaches in this league, but this pisses me off. Just be fair. If they're getting hit, it's a bloody foul. We got no calls today.
So this is her in game 4 after she lost the game, and this is her when she's celebrating the championship. I got it somewhere. Let me find the team. Give me 1 second. I got it somewhere. Maybe it's here. I do got it. Just got to figure out where. I got a whole bunch. It's not this one. Let's go through them one at a time. Is it this one? No, it's not this. Why do I even got this up? I don't know what that is here. We can close that all together. Maybe I don't got it. I should have had it. Yeah, my fault, team. Oh, I wonder if... I wonder if I... That's interesting. Okay, so basically what I was going to show you was when Sandy Brandello, when she was talking about the officials after the game and kind of just laughing them off like the officials did great and all this type of stuff. But I lost it. Maybe I got it right here. Okay, I do got it right here. Well, I had to go find it, but I was gonna make sure that I got y'all, team. This is the last part of it.
Last game, I mean, that's what you got to give and take. Like, game number 1, we should have won that game, close it out. But look, I have so much respect for Cheryl, and I have so much respect for that Minnesota Lynx team. Because
this ain't the one I wanted, though.
I mean, that was ugly, but we found a way to win, and so I'm really proud. Just rare for her.
This ain't the one I wanted, team. I had everything queued up. I don't know how I took that one off. Oh, I got it right here. Okay, I got it right here.
The last game,
Yeah, look, now they're laughing about it because it went in their favor. And that's what I don't like. Just be consistent.
I thought they were pretty fair. I mean, after the last game, I mean, that's what you got to give and take. Like, game number 1, we should have won that game, close it out. But look, I have so much
thought they were
respect
pretty
for
fair.
Cheryl, and I have so much.
I've actually had coaches. I had this coach that was chewing me out. It was actually just over my scrimmages, getting ready for the season, and this coach was chewing me out about calls that he thought I wasn't making correctly. And then I made a questionable call, right? And it happens to all of us officials, right? This isn't a scrimmage game. It wasn't anything on the line or anything like that. But you still want to get plays right no matter what the situation is as an official, because we're doing it to get better. So I'm making all kind of bad calls. And then there was a call where I called a block charge. I called a charge, and the player may have been in a restricted area at the time. I didn't have a real good look at it. It was a real fast, this is men's college basketball. They're really fast, strong, and they can make plays that you don't think are possible until they actually happen. So, I mean, it could have been a block, honestly. It really could have been a block. And the player actually pointed something out to me. He was like, he's in the restricted area, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So the same coach is chewing me out, right? I go to report the foul. I go over there, player control, black, 23, whatever. Coach is just kicking my ass the whole game, right? That was a good call. And I think he knew I got it wrong. I think he knew I got the play wrong. So then he's like, yeah, that was a good call. It was in my favor, so it was a good call. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure it was. Just kind of like, you got me on that one, or I got myself, or whatever the case is. So, it happens. But, sometimes the coaches do this, and they got like this, well, it was in my favor, so I'm glad you made a bad call, and it was good for me.
I thought they were pretty fair. I mean,
yeah, you thought they were pretty fair now that you're celebrating, drinking Moet, and you got the goggles on, and everybody's happy. But you weren't like that in Game 4 when you had a chance to lose the series, which very well could have happened. Let's get up out of here, team. There's probably a whole bunch of more stuff I wanted to talk about, in all honesty, team. We're in undirected perspective right now. What do I got for this? I try to talk about this from a lot of different perspectives. I'm very clear on what I think about the call. I don't think that's the right call, and I think it should have got overturned in the review. That is my position. I'll probably end up talking to someone else about this situation that has more experience than me in officiating and get their perspective, and it could change mine in a little bit if I'm able to look at it a different way. But I'll also explain to them what I've seen. And even though I'm not a professional official, not at the professional level of officiating, and I'm only at the college level, at the Division III level, which is still a good place to be. It's not easy to get there either, trust me. It's been a grind. Like, literally, like, I could have a master's or a PhD with all the time that I've spent put into perfecting my craft and officiating. Like, it's tough, team. It's expensive. There's a lot of traveling involved in camps and clinics and payments. And, I mean, you get compensated for it as well, but there's a lot of upfront investment that you have to make just to even get to the point where you can consider moving up within this profession. And that's why a lot of people quit. But my thing is this. I believe that those same top officials will have critique of their plays presented. Like, remember when Jason Tatum went up for the left-handed layup and LeBron went up for the left-handed layup and Jason Tatum clearly hit him right in front of the official on the arm. And then, you know, they do the 2-minute review in the NBA at least, and they go back and say, oh yeah, we missed a hit foul on 23 James. 0 Tatum got, ain't Tatum 0? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Tatum 0. On 0 Tatum, green 0, whatever the case is. You know, we missed that call. LeBron should have got 2 merited free throws to possibly tie or win the game. I think they were down 2 at that. No, it was a tie game. LeBron could have went to the line and won the game, but when they didn't call it, it ended up going to overtime, and I believe the Lakers lost that game. And that's usually what happens. That's why that play that we just seen in this Game 5 is so crucial, because a lot of times when swing plays like that happen, the team that probably should have lost is the team that ends up winning in, like, the overtime period and stuff. So it's all just crazy, team. I got to get ready for my game. As you can see, I'm about to go suit up. I am the captain of my team. I play in multiple leagues 5 nights a week. Well, one of my teams, I play doubleheaders, so it's 2 games a night. And then 3 other days of the week I play. So I got to get ready for that. And yeah, but I had to come and talk about this. I know this is a video that's all over the place. This is very long. So if you made it to the end of this, definitely leave a comment. Let me know that you made it here. And, you know, maybe there'll be something special in it for you, you know, for doing that. So acknowledge it and let me know in the comments. And, you know, it might be something I can do for you. It might be. Yeah. I have no problem doing that. I appreciate y'all, team. I didn't even get to the soundboard. I had a whole bunch of sounds I want to play. I had this one. This would have been fun to use.
Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna go get it. Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna go get it.
That was fun. Anyways, I'm out of here, team. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to go stretch out, get ready to get on the road, get to this game. I don't know. Till next time. Oh, this will be on both my channels. It'll be on my main channel and my sports channel, which is going to be dedicated to sports moving forward. We're only going to talk sports on this channel, but it will be cross-platformed for now. I think that's it.